thank everybody. Thanks for Robert and Rebecca for getting this set up. So I've met everybody. I'm Ken. I own a rep firm based out of Winchester, Virginia, but we cover a broad territory for MIRO and some other products. First thing I'm going to do today is a little bit like elementary school for you all, but do we all know what this is? Okay. Those shaking their hands, yes. What is it?
It's a roof rail.
Equipment rail. Okay, some people call it curb, I call them equipment rails. This is one of the focuses we're going to have today, and I handed out a piece of literature, somebody's got it out now, about the 10 things we've identified why these are issues being used for supporting pipe and duct on the roof. And I don't want to put this on the desk because it'll scratch. So, but everybody knows what these are, right? Okay. What a rail does on the roof is creates a lot of issues. First and foremost is leaks. Rails are made by OEMs, but they're also made from contractors as well. So they're very inconsistent on how they're made. When they're applied, they're fixed. They can't move around with the job. If the job is fluid, or let's say dynamic, things change. Once they're down, they're fixed. And when they're sealed in, that's pretty much it. If one has to be moved, it's got to be cut into the insulation again, then put down and fixed. They are expensive to make, expensive to install, and flashings. Does anybody have any idea of what it costs to flash in a 4-foot rail for the roofer?
$1,500.
It's right there in your pay. Very good, you went $100. Yeah, it is about $1,500 per equipment rail to flash in. So when you guys design your system and there's 30 of these rails in the roof, that's $45,000. So there's an expense to the whole thing. Plus that, rails are just one other item that hold the job up. So CMs are always looking to get the job more fluid, go faster. Well, the roofer has to wait for the mechanical to put the rails down. He then cuts in around them and then flashes. So there's a time element as well. But anyway, what we're going to do today is, education-wise, this is not a pitch for MIRO. It just happens to be who we represent. We have done this for 25 years, this focus. We work with a lot of CMs, mechanicals, roofers on better methods. The one thing that David, our PE, is going to be going over is basically the best way to disperse a load on a roof. Everything that MIRO does, and most of our competition does as well, is we try to make standards of 3 PSI or less. Does anybody know what the general PSI rating is of insulation, roof insulation? It's between 10 and 20 PSI. So if you're at 3 PSI or less, you actually meet that criteria. And the way to do that is if you do have a heavy load, a large square inch area will disperse that. Okay, that's like physical science, right? So we know that. But anyway, I've talked enough. But one last thing. What happens when architects and engineers allow the contractor to make the decision is, and I'm just going to, not to beat up on MIRO, but MIRO makes them as well. This is a rubber block. This is becoming the typical go-to for a contractor. If he's got to put stuff on a roof, he'll go to his distributor. He'll say, I need 20 of these or 30 or a skid, and he'll just start putting these on a roof without any thought process of the weight that he's putting onto the roof. So that's what happens if things don't get spec'd. So thank you all for attending for that reason. And with us today also is Heather and AJ from the Cincinnati group out of Greensburg. They're one of our local distributors. So I invited them along. But anyway, look, I've talked too long. David, the floor is yours.